Hi, this is Taronda Johnson again, and this is the video two of the focus group meeting group, but this is the reflection part, so this is part three. So after participating in the focus group and reviewing the writing stations and writing workshops, and also reviewing the seventh grade language guide, which is a rubric for students to go by and understand the importance and things that they need to input into the writing strategies in their essays. So I learned how important it is to be intentional with structure and clarity in writing instructions. One major takeaway for me is that students will do better when expectations are clear and broken into manageable steps. So we are planning to chunk uh, the writing strategy so that they can thoroughly understand what's going on. So the success criteria helped the group understand that writing is just not about answering a prompt, but it's clearly stating a thesis, organizing ideas, and using evidence to support what it is that you're trying to say, and also explaining your thinking in depth. Why does this matter? Why is it important? For the writing stations, I realized how powerful and hands-on it is. So we're planning to do some things. We're going to come up with certain things that we need to have the manipulatives, maybe working out we different stations that they can work with partners, things of that nature. So, and how interaction, engaging activities would better serve them and help them understand what it is that they are needing to do in understanding. And so, for example, the thesis and the hook labs. So, some students may think that creativity is about the introduction instead of just writing about something basic. So, having different topics that they can relate to, perhaps, uh, or related to the story that they're actually reading, and then they will understand that the evidence and elaboration station, it reinforces how students may struggle explaining their evidence. So they're going to have different types of stations that's going to be within it, and it's going to be breaking down into chunks. And then students may find quotes. They don't stop there, they have to explain it. So the elaboration boot camp is asking them why and how does it, and it really stood out to me because it lets them know that they really have to think about those things, especially when they're reading. So the seventh grade middle school language guide, as I stated, is basically the rubric for students to understand that these things need to be included inside of their actual essays that they're writing. So it's gonna help. It's gonna actually have the students actually reading and writing. They're gonna have to read with understanding, and then they have to respond to whatever the writing prompt is. And I understood the students must understand the text, right? They have to comprehend what they're reading before they can even write effectively. So vocabulary and analyzing the structure is very important to understand, and also the purpose. Why the author? What did he wanted you to know? He or she, and then have them to make that connection, and then they'll become strong writers once they understand the purpose. So I learned that I maybe persuade teachers to do a little bit more modeling, thinking out loud, and also modeling the writing strategies. So in the future, I will use a little bit more structure in my writing and during the workshops, helping them understand that these are the necessary things that they need to have in, and then do a little bit more rotating with the paragraph surgery and the transition trails that we did, that we talked about in reference to if it's anything that they're showing any weakness in. And I felt like we talked about the color coding. Me personally, that's one of my favorites. I feel like the students understand if they lose a part of it, or if they don't have it, then that'll be a better way for them to understand they need to go back and fix it. And so the purpose of this is not just to be sitting on paper, it's to actually refer back to, let it become routine for the students to understand that this is something that they really need to work on and self-check, hold themselves accountable. And to take my learning to the next level, I need to practice small groups, conferencing. That comes with time, and it's really, really that's a lot when you're having to do that. But during the observation, we need to try and throw a little feedback as much as possible. Although the teachers that we will appoint that we're choosing, it is going to take a lot. Having to go through all this and then plan and things of that nature. So just maybe formal, informal, of that nature. So students can, and then also peer check. That'll be a thing that we can do. They can help each other out, kind of do small grouping, put group of students together to where they'll understand, hey, you needed to work on this and you need to a little bit more help on that. So if I can do something differently, I would collect student voice during the process. I would try to get more feedback from the students. What do they feel is the hardest, or have a little survey that they would do. But overall, the activity helped me. I do appreciate the ladies for helping me yet again. This has been an eye opener in helping me understand the importance of it and being a leader. This is highly important moving forward to learning more strategies and building and being more consistent and being more responsive to the students' needs so they can show growth in their writing skills. Well, I do appreciate you. Again, this is Miss Johnson from Crosby Middle School and teaching CTE, and this is the focus group reflection part 3.